Hey guys, okay, so I literally have 10 minutes and I wanted to jump on and share with you. I want to go over this document that I printed up for you the other night. It's kind of funny because I was thinking about it. I'm like, the most important piece of paper that I needed during my actual live, I left in the notebook. So I feel like the live was productive but could have been better, and I'm like, and so that's why I went live again a little while after that. So just want to go over this sheet with you. I have had some people message me. Totally get it. Totally get it, and I understand why. Even if I had given the information properly on the live, you would still be confused. I mean, macros, it's not an easy thing. And it is so individualized. Like I said, it's like DNA, so say hi when you're here. So I'm just going to go over this briefly. Okay. And then, but you have access to this document. I have it as an announcement, which used to be called pinned posts, at the very, very top. Hi, Marie. How are you? So, okay, so let me just go over this. So first you have to know where you are before you know where you're going. So as said, I'm just going to kind of recap what I talked about in that live. So as said in that live, what you would need to do is log your stuff for a good 5 days on MyFitnessPal. Okay, now mind you, this is about macros. This is not about intuitive eating or biofeedback. This is just about numbers, okay? If numbers make you crazy, macros are not going to be for you, okay? So you log your food in FitnessPal for about 5 days. After you do that, you take an average. So here's an example. This is my crazy handwriting, but this is what I did for my person here. She had sent me her numbers. So this is her protein, carbs, and her fat. So she had 78 protein one day, 57 the next, 142 the next, 127 the next. I add that all together, then I divide it by 4, and then that gives me an average. So I did that for every single one. Protein, fat, carbs. That's first and foremost. You need to know where the heck you are before you know where you're going. Now, that said, we're not going to do that breakdown with those numbers per se. I'm going to give you a more simplified version so that you don't go crazy, okay? But I'm just showing you how to do an average. Most people don't know what an average is, which is fine, but they're like, what do you mean, how do I take an average? So what you're going to do is you're just going to look at your overall calories for 4 to 5 days. I'm not going to have you break down your stuff like that, but I'm just showing you what I do for my client. Okay, it's a lot of math. So here's an example on the sheet. So let's say your calories for Monday were 1305. Then on Tuesday, actually, I'll do the math right here. Then on Tuesday, so 1305 plus Tuesday were 1400 plus Wednesday was 1250 plus Thursday was 1700 plus Friday was 1850. These are just random numbers. So then that's 7,505. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 5 days worth. Divide that by 5. That's an average of 1,501 calories per day. So that's how you get an average. Okay. So you'll add the numbers together, divide the number, okay, number of days, these number, okay, and I just told you all this information. Next, you need to decide what your ultimate outcome is. Are you looking for fat loss, maintenance, or gains? Now, this is where your math is going to come in for you. So if it's fat loss, which most people in this group are looking for fat loss, you are going to take those calories, or excuse me, not those calories, you're going to take your current weight and times that by the number 12 to get your estimated daily calories. So the thing is that let's say, for example, let's say you are a 150-pound individual and you're looking for fat loss. So you take 150 times 12, that comes out to 1,800. Now you just did an average of your daily caloric intake and you're at 1,500. So what does that mean? You are in a deficit. You're not eating enough. Most people, I can pretty much guarantee that most people are not eating enough. I wasn't eating enough, okay? So If you do the math and you are eating more than what that recommended number came out to be, then you need to create a deficit. If you are if you're not eating enough, then we need to reverse diet, and you need to gradually increase your calories. Trust me, you don't go eating 1,500 to 1,800 overnight. You can't do it. You won't like it, and your body most definitely won't like it. So the caloric value, the caloric deficit here is about 300. What do? We reverse diet or refeed, okay, which is gradually increase the calories every week or every other week, depending on the person. So now let's say the calories should be 1,800, which is what I just shared. You don't want to increase those calories that much overnight. I would recommend 10 to 15%. So like this person that I just did here, I just increased her about 12%. I have to consider her lifestyle. I have to consider her. I have to consider all these factors and what numbers might work well for her, right? So 10 to 15%-ish. So let's say we increase 10% of the 1,500. So that's another 150 calories a day. So now instead of eating 1,501 calories, we're going to go to 1,650 calories, okay? From there is when you calculate your protein. So protein should be 0.7 to 1 gram. Now, mind you, I have all of this listed for you. 0.7 to 1 gram per body weight. So for example, we can go as high as 150 grams. I just did the math for this 150-pound person because I did the calculation on that already. So I'm just giving you that. So I did 1650, or no, sorry. See how complicated this can be? You can get really confusing. So 0.7 to 1 gram per body weight. So the 150-pound person, okay, you could go as high as 150 because that's technically 1 gram per pound of body weight, or you can go to 0.7, which would be as low as 105. So you got to decide. If you're this 150-pound person, are you going to be comfortable with 105 grams? Are you going to be comfortable with 150 grams? If you're eating 45 grams a day on average, then you're not going to want to eat 150 grams of protein just off the get. Trust me, you're going to be like this is so gross because your metabolism is, okay? So I got to wrap it up here in a minute. Next, you would calculate your carb intake, and that would be 30 to 50% of the calorie intake, okay? If you are a hardcore, super crazy exerciser, then you want to be closer to 50%. If not, go on the lower end. Then fat should typically be somewhere around 30%. So after you do the breakdown, you need to make sure you aren't going outside of that 1650 that we had just calculated, okay? So see, hence the reason why, like, I've got numbers all over the place on this because I'm kind of going back and forth, and I'm, really trying to make everything fit. And does this look good? Does this sound right? So you kind of have to think about, those things, right? So for this individual, just based off numbers, my recommendation on this 150-pound person, now mind you, I don't know the lifestyle, nothing. This is just basics. This is I'm not considering any lifestyle, any exercise, that kind of stuff. This is just brass tacks here. I would recommend 130 grams of protein for them, 145 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. Okay, so when you do the math, so if I take, because each macro has a caloric value, okay? So protein and carbohydrates, each gram equals 4 grams. Fat, each gram equals 4 calories. And in fat, each gram equals 9. So for protein, 130 grams equals, I did the math here. 130 grams equals 520 calories. Okay, so I know now that out of the 1650, 520 of them are going to be taken up by the protein. So then that leaves me with 1,130 to kind of divvy up between the carbs and the fat. Okay, so I have all of this in this document for you. It's super informative. Once again, this is, like you're kind of like I said, it's just a crash course guide for you. However, my recommendation, honestly, don't bother yourself with doing all that stress with the numbers. That's what I'm here for. This is what I do. So if you were interested in, you could try it on your own. You certainly can do that. You might have success, you might not. I'm not saying that you won't, but it's not an easy process, I'm sharing all this information with you because I want you to understand with the truth behind it. You know what I'm saying? And what goes into it, what is considered. And like, this is just a basic. I have this formula where I take height and I turn it into centimeters, and then I take your weight into, kilograms, and then I minus this and I take your age and do this. I mean, it's a very elaborate formula, you know what I'm saying? And this just gives you kind of like a basic, roundabout. But if you're looking for permanent and definite body composition change and performance, a difference in your performance, macros is the way to go. I mean, it's really, really, really helped me a lot. Feel better. I'm still just getting started, and it's pretty cool, like what it has done and what it will continue to do. So that's what the exciting part is. So anyway, crash course document, just look up at the top, look for announcements, and you can find it there, and you can go ahead and download it and have fun with it, and just kind of do what you can. I encourage you, but everybody really should honestly take a look at where you are. Take a good look at what your intake is. You know what I'm saying? There's also too that Power of 3 program that I just put out as well. If you are somebody that, if you don't know about intuitively eating and listening to your biofeedback, that's an important step as well. Because if you don't understand cellularly how your body responds to certain things, or how certain foods react to you, then starting there might be a really good place for you, and then kind of up leveling into the macros to really be more purposeful and intention, like really intention. I don't think intentionful is a word, but really being purposeful about the food that you're eating and why, like meal timing, and why you're having so many grams of protein and why you would have so many grams of carbs, that sort of thing. So I think it's just a natural progression. That's just the way that I see it. So, if you want more information, if you want to hop on a quick call, just comment below. Otherwise, just check those things out. You can go to I'll put it here in the links too, the www.kdln-powerof3.com, and you can check that out as well. And you can always just, like I said, hop on a call with me, and we can chat about your needs, where you are, where you want to be, and I can kind of give you a blueprint of what it would look like and how to get you there. Okay? So thanks for tuning in. I got to go see Dr. Brett, so we'll talk to you soon.